Good, happy Friday morning, April 9th, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Friday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We have a lot of news to get to this Friday morning, so let's get started. First up, we're going to take a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. Let's take a look at those right now. And here is a look at those COVID-19 numbers for all of you in New Hampshire. There are 87,441 number of people in New Hampshire tested positive for COVID-19. There are 1,251 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There are 102 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And that is a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. Sununu defends full-time school mandate, saying it's vital students return to the classroom. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
For the easy and the complex, the small stuff and the big, we're here with the affordable local loans, easy-to-manage accounts, and financial advice to help you blaze a trail, figure stuff out, and make your money go farther. We're Granite State Credit Union. Live bold.
There are school districts that have been open since September. These schools have not been open since September. We're not rushing, they're behind.
Some districts argue it's not that simple. Between 20 and 30 districts requesting waivers tonight to delay a full return to the classroom. In Berlin, educators say the April 19th mandate goes against the learning model and plan that was voted on and approved by parents in their community.
We all want all of our students back on site 5 days a week. We know it's the best mode of education. We've known that. We've been saying that since July.
The reality, however, is there are a number of schools with concerns ranging from a lack of infrastructure to a lack of staff, which they say will make social distancing in some places not feasible.
We are going to have more students on the bus, even if we look in front and in back and follow the pattern we've been told. We're now potentially having 2 students seated in a seat that before there was only one.
The governor says if schools choose to stay in remote or hybrid learning past the April 19th deadline, those learning hours will not count towards the mandate time schools have to fill, which could mean students will have to make up those hours.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire will open COVID-19 vaccine eligibility for all people 16 plus, regardless of their residency. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
What is there not to love about Franklin Pierce?
The Pierce Promise New Hampshire Scholarship Program is new at Franklin Pierce for high school seniors.
Governor Chris Sununu says there are plenty of chances for a COVID-19 vaccine, with 240,000 first-dose appointments still available for Granite Staters between now and Memorial Day through vaccines.nh.gov.
There's still an immense amount of opportunity for folks to come into the system. We've made sure that obviously New Hampshire residents have first shot at it.
A week from Monday, on April 19th, the state will open up vaccine registration to anyone 16 and older, regardless of what state they're from.
We just have so much more availability. We're going to have a lot of vaccine here, so we want to get it out to anyone who might actually be here in the state.
Out-of-state college students and others will still need to register online.
Please do not show up at just some random site and say, hey, I'm here for my vaccine. We hear it's open to everyone. It is open to, it will be open to everyone, but you still have to work through Vinny and register.
This weekend, the Johnson & Johnson shot will be available at several vaccine sites. Up to 12,000 people will get it at at another mass vaccine site at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, including Sununu, who will receive his shot on Saturday. And 3 additional sites have it on Sunday in Concord, Newington, and Salem, though most of those appointments are full.
We've gotten a huge influx of Johnson & Johnson vaccine in this past week, and we just we don't want to hold it, right? We're going to get it out very, very quickly.
Now, despite that, in the coming weeks, Johnson & Johnson will be sending fewer doses of its vaccine to states due to an issue at its manufacturing plant. Sununu says next week's shipment will be about 2,500 doses to New Hampshire, and in the weeks after that, it'll drop below 1,000. Reporting live tonight, Mike Cronin, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. COVID-19 infections continue to rise as another death reported. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. We do not have a video for that. Take a look at the article here. And if you want to read this article again, we will share it with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. Appeals court vacates lower court's decision, remains House remote access case for fact-finding. Take a look at this article. And if you want to read this article again, we will share it with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. Buttigieg says president's infrastructure plan will help New Hampshire roads and bridges. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
What is there not to love about Franklin Pierce?
The Pierce Promise New Hampshire Scholarship Program is new at Franklin Pierce.
New Hampshire got to know Pete Buttigieg during his run for the White House. Now he's the U.S. Secretary of Transportation and the point man tasked with winning public support for President Joe Biden's infrastructure plan.
Well, I spent enough time on New Hampshire roads and bridges to know that of the 10,000 bridges that we're proposing to repair, a lot of them are going to be in New Hampshire.
The price tag is $2.3 trillion, paid for over 15 years by an increase in corporate taxes.
One really important thing to understand about this bill is it's fully paid for. The president's plan does not add to the deficit. In fact, after 15 years, it'll start reducing the deficit. What it does is it asks corporations to pay their fair share. We're going to reset the corporate tax rate, not to a high level, just to a normal level, 28%. That's actually lower than it's been for most of my lifetime. So we know that corporations can handle it.
If it passes, this package is likely to revive the commuter rail debate in New Hampshire. But there's a lot of additional funding that is prompting a national discussion about what really belongs in a transportation infrastructure bill, including $56 billion for updating drinking water systems.
How much of that is going to go to help places like Merrimack here in New Hampshire that have real problems with PFAS, perfluorochemical contamination?
Yeah, I'm glad you raised this because, this seems to be part of the debate on what's infrastructure. Obviously, I'm the transportation secretary. I'm a roads and bridges kind of guy, but it is so important that we act to make sure that clean, safe drinking water is something every American doesn't even have to think about. I mean, you can't get anything else done in life if you're worried about whether your water is safe.
Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Bail granted for 2 men charged in sexual assault investigation. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Summit Packaging Systems is hiring for all shifts. Summit knows stability, security, and growth are extremely valuable. You'll develop skills to succeed and earn steady income and benefits. Apply online at summitpackagingsystems.com/careers today.
In seeking to have Bradley Asbury held without bail, the state says he bears a special responsibility for what happened at the Youth Development Center back in the 90s.
He was the supervisor of all of these men. He was the one in charge, and this happened on his watch.
Asbury is charged with one count of aggravated felonious sexual assault as an accomplice. He allegedly held a young man down while he was sexually assaulted. In asking that his client be released, the defense noted he has no criminal record and is not at risk of flight.
In fact, there is nothing that the state has represented to the court today to suggest that Mr. Asbury is a risk today or has been a risk at any point in the past 20 years.
The judge set Asbury's bail at $50,000 cash or surety. Lucien Poulette is facing a total of 33 charges, including 11 counts of aggravated felonious sexual assault. The state arguing that he should be held without bail, saying there are additional victims out there.
Allegations that he's engaged in multiple counts of aggravated felonious sexual assault, or sexual assault with other victims certainly increases his dangerousness and is relevant to Your Honor's inquiry.
But the judge said if no charges were brought on behalf of those victims, he wouldn't consider it evidence. In asking that Poulette be released, the defense noted he has no criminal record and is not a flight risk.
He lives locally. He lives in Auburn, New Hampshire, where he's lived for a very long time with his wife of nearly 25 years.
The judge set Poulette's bail at $100,000 cash or surety. The bail hearings for the other four men are scheduled to begin tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. In Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Authorities search for motive behind shooting at doctor's home. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
I'm here to compare the Microsoft Surface Pro 7 to the iPad Pro. Surface Pro has a built-in kickstand. iPad Pro is just a tablet. Surface is a full computer and a tablet. And now, the price.
There was another awful shooting, this one in South Carolina. A doctor, his wife, two of their young grandchildren among the 5 who were killed in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And tonight authorities believe it was a former NFL player who killed them before killing himself. Tonight we have the family picture of that doctor and wife. They had many grandchildren, and you can see the 2 there behind them who authorities say were victims in this too, along with an air conditioning technician who happened to be at the home, they say also killed. There was an hours-long standoff with police and ABC's Will Grieve tonight in South Carolina.
Tonight, authorities searching for a motive behind the horrific mass murder in the quiet town of Rock Hill, South Carolina.
We've got 4 down inside the house.
A prominent local doctor, Robert Leslie, his wife Barbara, and 2 grandchildren, 9-year-old Ada and 5-year-old Noah, gunned down in their home. Outside, 38-year-old James Lewis, who had been working at the property, also found dead. A co-worker seriously wounded. Authorities launching a desperate manhunt.
The description we're given was a black male wearing black clothing, carrying something red, possible automatic gun.
That search would lead them to a former NFL player, Philip Adams, who was found barricaded inside his parents' home nearby. After an hours-long standoff, police entered to find Adams dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Intercepted by Philip Adams.
Adams spent 6 injury-riddled seasons in the NFL, playing for 6 teams and suffering at least 2 concussions within a 3-game period in 2012. He retired in 2015. Adams' father, Alonzo, telling a local station WCNC his son never bothered anybody.
Well, I can say that he's a good kid. He was a good kid, and I think the football messed him up.
According to reports, Adams may have at one time been a patient of Dr. Leslie. The physician's friends and family left in shock by the gruesome killings.
He was just an exceptional person.
And to see this happen to him and his family is just tragic beyond words.
Relatives of the victims releasing a statement today saying, "We are in the midst of the unimaginable. There are no answers that will satisfy the question why." So far, investigators unable to answer that question.
There's nothing about this right now that makes sense to any of us.
Beloved in his community, Robert Leslie founded 2 local urgent care centers and worked as an ER doctor for decades. In a 2008 book titled Angels in the ER, Leslie wrote, "I know without a doubt that life is fragile."
Just another horrific story today. Will Reeve joins us now from South Carolina tonight. And Will, I wanted to go back to that point you made in your report that there are unconfirmed reports that the suspect may have been a patient at some point of the doctor.
Yes, David. The suspect's father said today that he had been treated himself by Dr. Leslie years ago. There are also reports that his son, Philip Adams, had been treated by Dr. Leslie as well, but police here would not confirm that today. That possibility is sure to be explored as they try to determine a motive for these killings. David?
We'll certainly learn more in the hours and days ahead. Will Reeve tonight. Our thanks to you as well.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the...
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.